Pretty Spiritual channel here, currently known as the Pretty Tarot channel. I'm going to be changing the name soon. But today's topic I'm going to get into. Okay, you guys. So, yesterday I went into Walmart. I was just going to make a quick stop and run in there just to, grab, just grab a few things, And I went to the restroom. I come out of the restroom. And I'm in the back of the store, and suddenly this lady, she comes up and she's like, where's the security? Oh my God, you guys need to call the cops, call the police now. And we're like, what's going on? And she's like, there's a man in the front of the Walmart with a white shotgun, a white shotgun, okay? A rifle or something. It was a rifle more so, she said, a white rifle. Not shotgun, but I know they can call rifles shotguns. And so, of course, we're all like, oh my gosh, And so security comes out. She has, her radio, and she's like running to the front. She's like, where is he? And she's running up to the front. And, I'm like, me and other customers are like, oh, heck no. And I'm like, I'm out of here. It ain't nothing I need in Walmart that bad to be hanging around in Walmart while some guy is walking around with a rifle, a white one at that. And she said he was either lethargic or he seemed unstable. Whatever the case was, she said it was just something that wasn't right about him. I don't know if she said he was lethargic, whatever, because she was like in a panic. She was in a panic, so a little half of what she was saying wouldn't make any sense because she was freaked out. And I don't blame her. I would be too. Because what is anybody doing walking around with a freaking rifle in a Walmart, in a white one at that? Like, that's not random. That's not coincidence. That's like, and then they're mumbling to themselves and they seem kind of off. No. So, this is what got me, though. This is what really got me, right? I'm looking at her boyfriend. Now, this is a heavy-set woman. Heavy-set woman, Now, she's black. She was wearing some beautiful African, headdress and dress and everything. She had her daughter with her. And, she had, her dude was with her. But her dude was just ridiculous. This guy was sitting there yelling at her, getting mad at her, going up for her time out. So what? So what? Guy walking around with a gun. So what? Doesn't mean he's going to do anything. So what? You sound stupid. You sound ridiculous. Why are you making a big deal about it? And he looked like, I don't want to say he looked very urban. He looked very urban. That's the best I could describe him. And urban is not an issue to me. But I'm thinking like, dude, you making this about yourself as if you're concerned that somebody would stereotype you if you were to walk into a store with a gun. But in the state that I live in, I'm living in the South, I live in Georgia, you can carry a gun with you in a holster, but it has to be registered. And not only does it have to be registered, but also you have to get, permission to do so, to be able to do that. Okay, you have to have a license to be able to just carry it openly in the public like that. Okay, so that's like 2 different licenses or whatever. But people feel uncomfortable with that sometimes. I've seen it, but people sometimes feel uncomfortable with it. Me personally, I'm uncomfortable with it because you don't know if somebody really, their head is wrapped tight or not, regardless if a background check was done or not. They do background checks, but still. You don't ever know if somebody gonna lose their mind. Like a shootout happened at Lenox Square Mall in Buckhead. You know what I'm saying? In the parking lot. I don't know if they said it's over a parking spot, but who knows? Whatever the case was, people are nuts. But what I'm really, really just kind of like, dude, why are you mad at your girl because she's sounding off the alarm that, hey, there's a potential safety hazard in the store. Somebody walking around with a white rifle. When we know there's been shootouts that happen at Walmart and in other public places. It was just like, really? What the hell? What is his problem? So, I'm leaving out of the store. I see them in the front. And I went out of my way to tell this girl, thank you for sounding the alarm and letting everybody know, especially security, that there's someone walking around in here with a rifle gun, and that he seems kind of off and, you know, unstable or whatever. Because in today's time, you can't afford to play around like that. And I wouldn't have wanted to be walking around that store and then something pop off. Now, I left up out of that store, you know, and she looked surprised that I said thank you. Even her dude looked surprised. And you know why? Because old girl don't know her worth. She don't know her value. She's sitting there letting that man yell at her, talk to her any old kind of way, put her down because she decided to speak up over a very potentially dangerous situation. And he was shocked that anybody would appreciate what she did. You know what I'm saying? And I hope they both learned something from that. First, I hope he learned, don't be coming down hard on somebody just because you think they're overreacting to something they're concerned about. You know what I'm saying? Like, this wasn't one of those Becky situations where, you know, and y'all know about these Becky situations where it's like some hysterical white woman, you know, calling the police on a black person for doing absolutely nothing other than just being black, right? So it wasn't like it was a Becky situation. You know what I'm saying? This was literally a situation where anybody and everybody in the store who overheard what was going on, everybody, white, black, Asian, Latino, we were all freaked out about it and was like, yo, I'm out of here, and yeah, get the police in here, da, da, da. You know what I'm saying? So I hope her dude realized he needs to shut the F up next time, keep his mouth shut, and he needs to do the same thing. Speak up, because you don't never know if somebody's going to act crazy or not. Old girl, I hope she learned her lesson that, hey, your voice matters, and it's okay to speak up if you have a concern about, you know, everybody's safety, including your own. Because once again, we live in a day and time where there's been shootings that happen, it seemed like almost like every week, if not every day. Okay. Half these shootings they don't even talk about in the news. You know what I'm saying? This one, I'm pretty sure it didn't make the news because I never saw any news reporters show up. I just saw tons and tons of cops roll up. And yeah, it was like, by the time I walked up out of there, it was a ton of cops that had literally just showed up and lined up in front of that Walmart, and they were circling through the parking lot, you name it. Because they don't play that down here. They don't play that nowhere, really, right? But here, they especially don't play that. They come and look for you if they think you in the Walmart walking around looking unstable with a gun. You know, lesson of the story, though, you guys, whether you really think or not, you're right about your feelings, your intuition, your fears. I'm gonna tell you this: if you see somebody rolling in somewhere with a gun and they carrying it around openly, especially a rifle, and don't let it be a colored rifle, this one was white, and the person seems unstable for any reason, even if they don't seem unstable, what the hell they walk around with a big old rifle for? Why? What are they doing it for? You know what I'm saying? And in a store. This particular Walmart doesn't sell rifles. Now, I don't know if all Walmarts, you know, if any of them sell a rifle or not. I do know at one point they were selling handguns. I don't even know if they still do that or not. But another customer told me they don't even sell rifles in Walmart. Or at least not in that one. Okay? And they told me that their two brothers was just in a Walmart in Arkansas where somebody did a shootout in there. So it's a small world, right? So you don't never know what's going on. Don't be afraid to speak up, sound an alarm. And it's not like she just immediately went to call the police herself, though I would have. She went to security, store security, so they can check into it first. Okay? So trust your intuition, trust your discernment, follow your heart, and more importantly, sound off the alarm, because you could save a lot of lives. She could have very well saved a lot of people's lives in there, because nobody knows what would have actually happened. Nobody knows if this guy got caught or if he fled the store. Because at some point I saw the police, 3 of them speed out of the parking lot and from the front of the store down the street, because he could have very well fled the store. Because at one point we're like, where'd the guy go? Where'd he go? You know what I'm saying? So it could have been he realized that people knew what he was up to and he fled the store, and then they found him down the street, whatever. I'm just grateful that she spoke up. And you guys, if you see somebody who they're speaking up or they got somebody trying to tell them they don't need to speak up, empower that person, understand that their voice does matter, and that it could potentially save lives or influence lives in some form that could be result in a positive result. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever feel like you can't speak up, and don't let anybody tell you you don't have the right to speak up. Like, I wanted to slap this dude. He was being so nasty with his girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? And ladies, even dudes, if you have somebody going off on you in public like that, leave them alone. Just leave them alone. Leave them outright. Leave them, because that's being verbally abusive, and that's being emotionally abusive, and it's not okay. It's not okay at all. Nobody's perfect, but the reason why this guy was going off on her didn't make any sense at all. And he was trying to make her feel like she was stupid for speaking up in a situation she should have spoke up. And I'm glad that she didn't let him affect her speaking up. She still chose to speak up regardless. But I hope she leave his ass. I really do. I hope she leave him, because she can do a whole lot better than that, regardless of her being a heavy-set woman. She still was a beautiful woman, period. So, ladies, no matter if you think, you know, I don't know what, whatever it is you feeling in your self-esteem, understand that you can always do better than somebody who is trying to humiliate you or insult you in public when you're trying to do the right thing. And just period. Nobody should just be insulting you and humiliating you in public. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm certainly not perfect. When I was young, I did a lot of things that, I would never do now as a grown ass woman. You know what I'm saying? Who's mature and, respectful in things at this age. You know what I'm saying? But these were like two grown folks. They couldn't have been, they probably were my age, and I'm not old. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my 30s or whatever. Doesn't matter what age you're at. If you're with somebody who's like that, leave them. You can do much better without them. So I'm just going to end this at that. The takeaway message is, it's okay to sound alarm if you feel unsafe or you feel like everyone's safety is at threat, including yours. And it is okay, it's not okay to deal with somebody who is talking down to you and being nasty to you and things in public or at home. Leave a person like that and go do you. So that's the 2 takeaways, y'all. Peace, and let me know what you think in the comments. Bye.